Earlier this week, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said, quote, "The economy is strong and is well positioned to handle tighter monetary policy. But I'll say, I do expect that this will be very challenging. It's not going to be easy." So, Austin, for those of us who thought we could skip Act 10, what does that mean? And what do you see as the state of the economy?
Well, I tell you, Alicia, it depends which part of the economy you're looking at. The job market is red hot, looks fabulous. That the unemployment rate is already 3.6%, and we still added more than 400,000 jobs in the month is almost jaw-dropping. I mean, that's a fabulous number. And normally when the unemployment rate is that low, it's hard to add that many jobs. At the same time, you've got inflation made worse by the war in Ukraine and what's happening in commodities, made worse by COVID, and that we shifted what we were spending away from services and onto physical goods, and that overloaded the supply chain, and that led to a bunch of problems. So what the Fed is trying to do is navigate a little bridge, and I guess it's kind of like if you got in the shower and you want to take a nice temperature shower, you've got some burning hot water is coming from part of it, and then there's some cold water coming in, and the Fed is trying to balance those off and raise rates to cool some of it without sending us into recession. Let's hope they can do it. I think if COVID starts to fade, they have a better chance to be able to do it. But that's where we are. It's kind of mixed up. Some of it looks great, and some of it looks not as great.
Right. You sort of began to answer this question, but I want to dig into it and make sure that I understand, which is, I mean, how much of this is really in the administration's control? How much can they do actively to improve the problem, and how much of it is just, as you said, COVID, the war in Ukraine, outside of their control?
Yeah, mostly it's not under their control. And that's what drives people crazy in the White House. There's no, as I said, you go all through the basement. There's no switch down there where you're like, oh, if we had only flipped this switch, then it would be fixed. Mostly for inflation, it's the Fed that's the tip of the spear. And that's because the Fed can control the interest rate very abruptly. They can change it. They can monitor conditions. They can go up. They can go down. And so we rely on the Fed to be the first line of defense against inflation. In the White House, it's much slower moving. It's got to go through Congress for the most part. They got to pass legislation that could take months or years. And I don't see that much of that happening to deal with inflation now. There are certain things they can do, for sure, on the geopolitical front, and they can release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to have a small impact on fuel prices in the short run. You can address bottlenecks through the Defense Production Act, and you can do everything you can, but everything you can do when you're in the White House isn't that big because 95% of what happens in the economy has nothing to do with Washington. It's being set in the private sector. It has to do with the nature of demand and the supply chain problems that we've been facing for a year now.
Austin, I would layer on to that challenge the fact that the answer you just gave, which is a completely legitimate answer, is a process answer, right? And that is not going to fly out on the trail. So then what explanation can Democrats give? Do Democrats give to voters who may be frustrated?
Yeah, look, the first thing to note is partly you just got to grin and bear it if you're the political leadership, that the economic timetable is not on a political calendar. And that's just reality. But I think the things that you will likely see them emphasize are, number one, the job market is great. And if anybody wants a job, now's the time to get a job. Wages are up, and hopefully they will get real incomes rising more. Two, if we get relief on COVID, I do think that there is a chance that you start to see relief on the inflation front. That is, people stop spending their money on physical goods and go back to spending it on services. As I say, it's not me, but a lot of people stop going to spend money on haircuts and, going to the dentist and a bunch of services, going to restaurants, going on vacation. If they shift back to spending on that, I think you will see relief on the inflation front. And then you will likely see the White House and the Democrats, as they go into the the midterm election, emphasizing, look, this was a humongous problem that landed on us, but we've worked our way through it, and they'll hope that that's the persuasive argument.